Let's continue now where we left off in the last year. And we explained how the Rebbe Marash, the Avodah of Netzach, of revealing the essence of godliness in the world, led to the Keser, so that his final mimer was Keser Yitnu Lecha. But that gave the power for the next generation, where the Rebbe Rashab started with the first mimer with Keser Yitnu Lecha. That was the Avodah of the Rebbe Rashab in this world. Keser Yitnu Lecha, revealing Elokus in the world, revealing the crown, the essence of Hashem in the world. The Avodah of Hoid, of majesty, of bringing it out through his spreading of Chassidus, which was in a way which was unprecedented before. Interestingly, it was done through the what was innovated, the innovation of the Rebbe Marash, which is the idea of Hemsheichim, and that those Hemsheichim were brought out even more by the Rebbe Rashab, where he took everything and compartmentalized the entire Chassidus and all the ideas of Chassidus. Keser, the essence of the crown, and it's together with also Timchit Mimim, which is Chayale Beis David, the soldiers whose Avodah is Mesirus Nefesh. Whose Avodah is bringing the majesty of Hashem in a way that it should be revealed in the world. The culmination of the Avodah of the Rebbe Rashab, he completed the Avodah of Keser Yitnu Lecha throughout his lifetime. When it came the end of his lifetime, his final mimer was Reishis Goyim HaMolek. Reishis Goyim HaMolek, after Keser Yitnu Lecha, revealing the kingship of Hashem in the world. The culmination of the Keser, the culmination of us accepting this Keser, is that now we have the power for the Avodah of getting rid of Amalek, for the Avodah of getting rid of the separation between above and below. A separation which is one which lies in the very essence of Klippa, which fights against the essence of Kedusha. The way to get rid of Amalek is through Zachar, through reaching the essence of the soul, which is actually the idea of Keser. That's the Avodah of the Rebbe Rashab, the culmination. And like we saw that right before the Istalkus of the Rebbe Rashab, he said, communism, the fight, the war against communism, that's not for me, that my son will fight. Getting rid of Amalek, the coldness, starting from the Amalek of the communists, who tried to separate between above and below, who wanted to separate between intellectual understanding and actual practical avodah in the world. The ones who their problem was with mitzvahs maisis, with practical mitzvahs, they couldn't accept that godliness could be revealed in the physical world. Later on, continuing the Frierdiker Rebbe's avodah in Poland, where he was first dealing with a spiritual Amalek, but then more with the actual practical physical Amalek of the Germans, Yimach Shemam, the practical Amalek who were getting rid of, who their whole thing was to destroy the Jewish people, not just the soul, but the body. They recognized how a Jew, the very being, and the physical being of a Jew is a statement of godliness in this world, something that they couldn't tolerate. And finally, in America, the coldness once again and the ice of America that again tried to separate between the spiritual and the physical. You can have a spiritual life, but when it comes down to practical world, it can't be connected to Hashem. And this was the Avodah of the Frierdiker Rebbe throughout his Nesias, was destroying Amalek. This was the first mimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe, Reishis Goyim Amalek. An Avodah which finally culminates by bringing out the essence the essence of a Jew which is connected to Hashem, which that's the first thing we have to do. Bring out the fact, the realization that Hashem is the reality, Hashem is the king, accept Hashem's kingship. As a result, we can now get rid of that separation between the spiritual and the physical. And finally, as a result, the final mimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe, which he gave out for his Yom Istalkus, the time when all of his Avodah becomes completed and elevates. and is Basi Legani. After getting rid of Amalek, now we can actually build the Beis Hamikdash. Bring Mashiach in where the spiritual and the physical actually become one, where place, space, and above space become one. And that's the Rebbe's first mimer. That's the avodah of the Rebbe, no longer getting rid of. There's already the Keser, there's already the destruction of Amalek. Now we have to reveal in the world how Hashem and the world are all totally one. There's no separation between them whatsoever. Now this avodah of the Frierdiker Rebbe, this avodah of the Rebbe Marash, and then later the Rebbe Rashab, and later the Frierdiker Rebbe, is brought out with their concept of Shechina. The Rebbe Marash, the concept of Shechina is Keser. It's all one. The essence is revealed. The Rebbe Rashab is Hoid Yitnu Lecha. Where we reach the Keser which is connected to the Nivraim, the source, because the Oyer Ein Sof, which is before Tzimtzum, in Kabbalah is called Keser D'Chlalos. Keser is above Chachma. Chachma is the beginning of the light that comes into the world. The Keser that's above Chachma is the essence. That's the Oyer Ein Sof, which is before Tzimtzum. Something which is above Chachma, above the world. The Rebbe Rashab is reaching the Keser, but the Keser Yitnu Lecha, the level of Keser, which is connected, which is the source and the root of Eira Memali Kol Almin, of the light that comes into the world. Revealing Chassidus in a way of understanding it, in a very similar way to what the Mittler Rebbe did with the essence of Chassidus, explaining it, so it remains still a more spiritual understanding, but yet it's understood by people, it's able to be understood in the intellectual understanding of a person. Hoid and Bina or Gvura are interconnected. Then we get down to the avodah of getting rid of Amalek. Getting rid of Amalek reaches, in order to get rid of Amalek, we have to get to the essence which is above understanding. Amalek fights against understanding, tries to separate between the understanding and the world, and the way to fight it is by reaching the essence, the Mesirus Nefesh, the Kabbalah Soil, which is above understanding. That's the sphere of Yisoid. Yisoid is Kabbalah Soil. Yisoid is Iskashrus, connection. Yisoid is bringing down the highest to the lowest through reaching Keser, but reaching the Pnimius HaKeser. Pnimius HaKeser in its original source, which is the Oyer Ein Sof, which is the Gili Ha'oyer La'atzmai, which is higher than a Shaykhas to the Zulas. That's the Frierdiker Rebbe's Avodah, bringing down Chassidus into the world in a way that the essence, which is above understanding, Mesirus Nefesh, Kabbalah Seil, is revealed. And finally, the Avodah of Malchus. The Rebbe's Avodah is in a place where there is no separation between above and below, where the essence of the light, which is not even revealed, it's the Etzem Ha'oyer. There's no revelation in it. It is the very essence. That itself is Shechina. That itself is the very essence which is revealed in the lowest level down here. Now, the Rebbe is now going to continue with explaining this idea, how it reaches the Tachtonim. We're going to explain this idea at each one of the Rebbeim, how they explain why it has to be down here. Now it's interesting that in both times the Rebbe mentions all the Rebbeim, in fact all three times, the first three times, and then we'll see the fourth time when we get there, the Rebbe mentions all the Rebbeim. First two times is first to explain Shechina, the second is to explain why Batachtenim. First is to explain Shechina, which ends off by understanding Iker Shechina. The second is to explain Tachtenim, which ends off by understanding why it's in the lowest level. Openly, the Rebbe is mentioning something, and it's also the third time when the Rebbe tells the stories of each one of the Rebbeim, which we'll get to. He's openly explaining why, it talks about, mentions the names of each one of the Rebbeim, till the Rebbe Rashab. Frierdiker Rebbe is the one whose mimer it is. The Rebbe is mentioning and basing it on a mimer, but there's no specific statement, seemingly, unless, as we understood, that it's hinted over there, but there's no official statement from the Frierdiker Rebbe. Even the stories, there's no official story from the Frierdiker Rebbe. And the same thing is, obviously, the Rebbe is the one saying the mimer and giving the explanations, which we can see the Rebbe's explanation in the mimer, but that statement doesn't come in an open way. So, it's an interesting idea also that the Rebbeim, in the sequence that the Rebbe mentions them, is from top to bottom, starting from the Alter Rebbe, going on till the Rebbe Rashab. In the Nigunim that the Rebbe sang in the middle of the Maimer, the Rebbe stopped 3 times to sing Nigunim. The Rebbe started with the Nigun of the Frierdiker Rebbe, then the Nigun of the Rebbe Rashab, then the Nigun of the Rebbe Marash, then the Tzemach Tzedek, then the Mittler Rebbe, then the Alter Rebbe. It's interesting, started from the idea of Nigunim. Nigunim is the idea of Shira, like we have in this week's Shabbos, which is called Shabbos Shira. Oz Yashir Moshe. Shira is a song which goes from below upwards. In the Rashi Tevis of Elul, we have Anila Doidi V'Doidi Li, etc., where it's all straight. The Rashi Tevis of Lashem V'Yoyimru Leimer Shira is Elul backwards. In the Shira, it's Elul backwards, and the Rebbe explains it because that's the sparks going out of Galus, which is Milamata L'Mayla. They go from below upwards. It's redeeming, elevating from below upwards. Shira, the song, is from below upwards. The idea of the Maimer is drawing down the Shechina from upwards, from the top level, from the Alter Rebbe down, one level after the other. Even when we explain the Tachtoinim, we're explaining it in a way of coming from one Shechina, from one Rakia to the next. But at the same time, in the middle of the Maimer, what's not part of the Maimer, but what's sort of hidden in the Maimer, is the idea of elevation, of going up, of going out of Galus, where there we started from the Frierdiker Rebbe and went upwards. Now the interesting idea is that the Rebbe in the Maimer didn't mention the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe, and the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid. And on Shabbos afterwards, which is Yud Gimel Shvat, which that's today, Thursday is Yud Gimel Shvat, the yard site of Rebbe and Stern Sora. So the Rebbe on Shabbos said that when I said the Maimer on Yud Shvat, I mentioned the Torah from each of the Rabbeim, starting from the Alter Rebbe. I very much wanted also to mention something from the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, because the Rebbe, the Shver, by my Chasana, when he mentioned the names of each one of the Rabbeim, in L'Chadoidi, in the Maimer of L'Chadoidi, he mentioned only from the Alter Rebbe onwards. I couldn't bring myself, therefore, to mention also the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid. But it really bothered me, and it says in Torah, when you're upset, when you're mitztayir, when you feel pained at the lack of Torah, then you get it, and therefore now is Shabbos. It's a continuation to Yud Shvat. It's Yud Gimel Shvat, which is when the second Maimer of Basi Legani and Sheves Baganim started. Therefore I'll say a Maimer, which will be a hemshech to the Maimer of Yud Shvat, and I'll mention the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid in it also, and as a result, there'll be also this in the Baal Shem Tov Maggid. The Rebbe said that in Maimer Yesheves Baganim, which Mr. Hashem later will try to learn this Maimer. Now it's interesting. Why does the Rebbe not mention the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid? By the Chasana, the Frierdiker Rebbe didn't mention. But the idea obviously is that the Chasana of the Rebbe is the connection, like the Rebbe said, the connection between the Rebbe and Chassidim. The Chasana is Yesod and Malchus, the connection. And this connection is one which reaches from the Alter Rebbe. If it started from the Baal Shem Tov, it wouldn't be Deir Ashvi. The whole point over here is to bring it to become the 7th generation, the completion of 7. But yet the Rebbe's Inyan, and that's what the Rebbe did on Shabbos, is to reach even from the Pnimius HaKeser and Chitzonius HaKeser, which is the Sfiras of Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid. And in a sense, by the Rebbe mentioning outwardly only till the Rebbe Rashab, the Rebbe Rashab is also the 7th from the Baal Shem Tov. And in fact, we learned in the Basi Legani of this year that Yosef Yosem Me'imoy, Yosef Yisoid, from in Bina, which Bina is where things are revealed, it only reaches till Haid, it doesn't reach till Yisoid. So the revelation in a revealed way in the Maimer, we only talk till Yisoid, but hidden in the Maimer, till Haid, concealed, hinted in the Maimer is also Yesod and Malchus. And later we get it in a more revealed way because we bring out also Keser, and through that everything becomes revealed as well.